Hello, everyone. Can you all hear me? Type of one in the chat box if you can hear me. Awesome, awesome. Let's see who we have here. All right, I see we have Darlene. Darlene, can you hear me? Can you hear me and see my screen? All right. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. I know some others are trickling into the room, but because you all are on time, we're not gonna hold you accountable for them. We're gonna go ahead and get started. How many of you all were able to just by typing a 1 or a 2 in the chat box, if you were able to go into your ads manager and kind of familiarize yourself with the ads manager? Type a 1 in the chat box if you're able to do that. Type a 2 if you did not do that as of yet. We're going to be getting into some of the down and dirty stuff tonight. We're going to be looking at the ads manager. Going to be showing you some ways to also look at different ways to target, different ways to make sure that the demographics and things that you see or that you're researching are correct. Okay, not a problem. We're going to get into all that tonight, and we're going to show you how to really be effective with your ads or what have you. So let me pull up my presentation here. Okay, and if you have any questions, feel free to post those in the chat box, and I'll answer those as we move through the presentation, as we move through the training. If you have any questions at all, just feel free to post those, and we'll get those answered for you. All right, for tonight, we're going to talk about some business marketing concepts and things you may want to keep in mind as far as marketing your business on Facebook. We're going to deal with targeting. We're going to also deal with some of the rules and tips that I have for you as far as Facebook is concerned. And then we're going to have some fun. We're going to create an ad, probably a couple of ads. We're going to kind of do some research. I'm going to show you how I'm able to do some research. Some of you all already know that you know what your target market is, or your what I call the ICP, your ideal customer profile. But you never know when you're going to branch out and go to different areas. You may have a a different niche you want to break into. So I can show you some different ways that you can actually do that. You can actually research, get information for those particular niches or what have you. So when we get into your business marketing, setting your goals. It's one of the biggest things you can do as it relates to your Facebook advertising campaign, really as it relates to any marketing campaign. You want to make sure you have clear goals set for your campaign. So what is the purpose of your campaign? In other words, are you looking for leads? Are you just looking for signups to your email list? a lead that you can follow up on and possibly close for your business? Are you looking to make sales? Are you looking to build your fan base or your clientele, your exposure? Are you looking to basically do branding or what have you, like a like campaign, and just get people out exposed to your business, your ministry, or your product, your book, whatever the case may be? Those are the types of things you have to keep in mind as it relates to your campaign. And then what kind of results are you looking for? So if I know I'm going to run a campaign, and I'm going to show you a campaign that failed for me, which is funny. But you'll have some campaigns sometimes that'll fail. You'll run them, you'll get great results as far as traffic, but they won't convert. So then you have to look and say, okay, what are the different elements that are not converting? What is keeping people from purchasing this product, or keeping people from inquiring more about my services, or my products, or what have you? So I'm going to show you that as well. I'm going to show you the good and the bad. Facebook ads is great, a great way, as I mentioned last week. It's an awesome way to really gain exposure, to really put your products out there for the least amount. It's one of the most affordable methods of advertising. And so when we understand that, and we understand that we are investors as advertisers, you have to invest. So when we're investing and we understand that, we don't get bent out of shape if we have a day in the campaign that's not as profitable as another day. We understand at the end result, we want to make sure that we have a profitable campaign. And if we don't, we turn it off, we optimize it, test different things, and then we apply it again and see what happens, in that campaign. Then the last thing is what's your budget? What's your budget for each campaign that you're going to be, contributing to the advertising, whether it's Facebook, even later on, I'm going to be doing some sessions on Twitter ads and things of that nature. But in any advertising campaign, you got to have a budget, and you got to have a budget that's feasible to make sure that you can get what you need out of it. With Facebook, just a little as $5. I'm going to show you a campaign where I posted for $5 a day. And like I said, I got great results. I got leads, which is a great thing because I'm able to retarget them now. So even because they didn't bite on this particular product, I can retarget them when I have additional products, and they may bite on that particular product or what have you. Okay. Excuse me. So some things to consider is you got to identify your products, and most of you all have done that. You know exactly what you want to promote. You know how you want to promote it. Another thing is multiple ads. So you don't necessarily have to be stuck with just one ad. You can have different ads, different what we call creatives. So you can have one campaign, but have two different ads in that campaign. So you may have an ad, for instance, if you were trying to reach females, you have a female product that can solve a pain point for them. You can have one of the most engaging photos for females are photos dealing with animals. So if you have your cat, your dog, or what have you, and you can have one of your creatives have that type of image on it. And then you have another creative that has a standard image, say for instance like a business image or whatever, or has an image of the product, and you as the product creator on there. So that way they can engage, they can kind of get a visual of who you are, that type of thing. So you can actually have multiple ads. Your campaign time frame. So how long you want to run your campaign, something you may consider. I mentioned this last week, matching your landing page. So making sure that everything is congruent, everything is flowing properly. Your Facebook Facebook rules. So you got to make sure that your Facebook ads are in conjunction with or in alignment with the Facebook rules. You don't want to fall outside of those guidelines. That's a quick way to get banned in your ads managers when you're not in compliance with all of the Facebook ads. Now, Facebook rules, excuse me. But it's real simple. If you have a good business, a viable business that is a business of integrity, you normally don't have to worry about Facebook rules. They're put in place to kind of prevent people from trying to go after youth and pornographic materials, alcoholic beverages, stuff like that. They don't allow those types of things. All right. Reasonable expectations. So what are your expectations for your campaign? What are you realistically looking at achieving for your campaign? And I know some of us have talked about that, but that's really, really, really something that you have to take in mind, is understand that you you can't pay $5 a day and expect to make $1 million within 3 days. Not going to happen. I know that's kind of far fetched, but that's the extreme I want you to understand, is that your goals have to be, expectations have to be reasonable. All right, complementary strategies. Complementary strategies is basically what are you doing in addition to your Facebook advertising? So Facebook advertising is great. It's gonna do great for your business once we nail that perfect target market. But what are you doing in conjunction with that, as it relates to your business and your marketing? Are you combining your Facebook ad campaign with a campaign on Periscope, or a campaign on Twitter or Instagram, messaging and pics and pictorials and stuff of that nature? What are you doing in addition to it? That's something also to consider. Because if you do it correctly, you can actually drive traffic to your even to your Facebook ads, when people see it. And then it's all about lead generation and converting those leads for your business, your product, or your service. Also, split testing. I mentioned this earlier. Split testing is basically when you take two ads and you say, okay, I'm gonna change the headline. We see that this particular headline may be converting at 15%. And say, okay, well, maybe let's change the headline, let's change the image, let's change some of the copy, and let's see which one is more effective, which one converts higher. Then once you find that converting monster, then you actually want to promote that one to be the main image, because that's the one that people are gravitating to. That's the one they're engaging with. So that's the one you want to push all of your funding to. And then you want to tweak. You split testing, you tweak them, and then you go from there. So one of the big things that anybody that knows me knows that I'm huge on: who is your target? Who's your target market? Who are your users? Who are the people that you're trying to reach? What do they look like? What do they wear? Where do they shop? What type of foods do they eat? I mean, literally down to that can tell you what an individual will buy, what they won't buy, and how they think. So, are they gift buyers? As a possible prospect, are you targeting brick and mortar stores? Is it geographical targeting? So, in other words, if you have a business that is more local based for offline businesses, then you can actually target them from a graphical standpoint, in that particular location, geographical standpoint in that particular location. So whether you're in Boise, Idaho, and need to target locally, you can do that. Whether you're in New York, you can do that. So that's a great. We're gonna get into that real in depth once I show you the targeting and what have you. Split test your demographics with multiple ads. So you can have the same ad, but you have the ad with a man on it going to the females, and then you have the ad with a woman on it going to the men. So you're split testing the demographic with multiple ads. You got two different ads with two different demographics, and let's see which one is going to outperform the other. Understand your market before crafting your creative. This is real huge. So you got to know what your market likes. What do they like to see? What do they like to look at? So it's real key that you understand that, because then that'll allow you to say, okay, I can create something that I know they're going to engage with. I can create something that I know they're going to look at and they're going to, click on. That's ultimately what you want them to do, is you want them to click and go to whatever product, whatever landing page, whatever website you have in place. So what's your budget? When you look at your budget, you have to think about past performance, think about the quality of the traffic and stuff that you've been getting. Okay. the number of ads that you're running, campaign duration, desired bid, all of that goes into your budget. Uh, the way that Facebook's algorithm works is that the better your ad performs, the cheaper it gets. The better your ad performs, the cheaper it gets. So if you have an ad that's what we call a relevance score, and I'm gonna show you that. When you have an ad that has a high relevance score, then it shows you that the individual target that you're trying to reach, they love those individual ads. Okay, it shows you that the target audience that you are targeted to is very specific, and is whatever your ad is relevant to what they want to see. So Facebook, they take all that into consideration and they say, okay, I'm going to show this ad. We're going to show this ad to those that we feel like is going to be most relevant to. That's why it's key to understand how your audience thinks, how your target market thinks, what they like, what they don't like, what they like to look at, the imagery, that type of thing. So all of that comes into play when you look at your budgeting. So let's talk about targeting, and then we're going to move into some additional stuff. So targeting explained. Really, it's collected demographics means accurate targeting. So if you've collected your demographics, you know that you're trying to reach women, females from the age of 24 to 35. They're African American, or they're Caucasian, or they're Hispanic. You know that information. You know that they have a college degree, or they don't have a college degree. You know that they work at a blue collar job. You know that you want them to have a salary of no less than minimum of $40,000 up to six figures, to $100,000 or $250,000. All those demographics help in making sure that your targeting is very accurate. Okay, so you'll start noticing that your ads displayed for your own account are very targeted. So you'll even see sometimes, excuse me, that the ads that you put out there, because usually the ads that we present is a part of us as well, or a part of, we've already been known to provide the solution. So we could be a part of that target audience. And so you'll see those ads. Sometimes you'll see your own ad pop up because you've targeted so greatly through the demographics or what have you. So targeting people, as I mentioned, some of these, you can target them in their age bracket, certain gender, whatever niche they may be interested in. So for instance, you may have somebody that you want to target in the fishing niche. You may have somebody you want to target in the health and wellness, or business, or education. So you can go and target individuals in a particular niche and particular interests as well. Speaking certain languages. So one of the things that I do on a lot of my ads is I'll eliminate individuals that do not speak English, because I only speak English as a main language. So when I'm trying to build my list, especially like my personal list for JermaineFreeman.com and social media and all that type of stuff, I want to be able to communicate effectively with my audience. So whether it's through email marketing, whether it's on Periscope, whether I'm streaming live on Periscope or Twitter, I want them to be able to get as much value as possible out of what I'm offering. So therefore, in order to do that, they have to be able to speak my language, So I usually always limit it to English all, and I'll show you how to do that as well. What that'll do is that'll eliminate any other additional individuals that may speak other languages, but you can't really communicate effectively with. So you're saving your dollars and cents because you're eliminating them from the process. Now you'll have some cases where you'll want to definitely target some people. So you can do, like, for instance, you can target Spanish, because some people are becoming more fluent with Spanish because of the population of Spanish speakers that we have here in the United States of America. But in general, you want to just target the language that you're going to be speaking or what have you. So when we talk about targeting, there's some resources I want to share with you all, and let me know if you're getting something out of this. And you may have a 20 to 30-second delay, as I mentioned last week, because of the Google Hangouts technology that actually records live. So we can have the replays and all that. So it records the live stream while we're doing it. But if you have any questions, feel free to drop that in the chat box and let me know. But as it relates to your targeting, here's some resources that you can use for your targeting. And we're going to show you some things, even on Facebook, that you can use to kind of gravitate to those that you want to display your product or service or what you're providing to. One of the things, we call this our success surveillance checklist. So one of the things that you want to use is what we call follow.net. Follow.net. I'm gonna type that into the chat box. That's follow.net. And what they allow you to do is they allow you to be able to go in and really look and see what the competition is looking like. So you're able to see, the ads of your individuals. Matter of fact, let's go there now, so I can show you this, because this is something you can definitely use. So what you're able to do is type in any website, and you're able to gain any information you want from them. So, for instance, let's just type in digital marketer. See, what this does is it brings up, in the last 6 months, everything that digital marketer has been doing, basically. So you're able to come in here, you're able to see how many visitors they get to their website. You're able to see their daily reach. And let me know if you're able to see that, see my screen. I want to make sure that you are seeing this. In fact, I'm gonna pull it out and pull it into its own screen, so we'll make sure that. Okay, awesome. You can see it. Okay. All right. So again, it shows you, and then it comes down here and it shows you through a company called Similar Web. It shows you where the traffic sources are coming from those individuals. So, for instance, say you have a book on being healed, being delivered, from a being delivered from abusive relationships, or whatever the case may be. An author that is in a similar niche as you are, and so you want to target their audience, because you know that your book is one that that particular audience can utilize. So what you want to do is you can use this information and say, okay, I see here that they have 57.79% direct traffic. So meaning they're driving people directly to their site. And that's the majority of what they have. Then you have some for like 17% is links, 11.96% is actually from the search. So like Google, Bing, and some of the other search engines, they have about 11% of their people, their traffic is coming from the search engines. Then you have about 10% is coming from social. So what happened is, and I know for a fact with digital marketer, they've created such a huge following now that they were able to tailor back their ad campaigns, because their traffic is like consistent traffic now. So they have a blog that they run that's real huge for them. So they run everything through the blog. So that's why their direct traffic now, excuse me, is so high because they've already done the work through Google AdWords, through Facebook advertising and marketing, through Twitter and all that to drive their traffic and build their audience or what have you. So you see 2.3% mail. And what that is that's actually like physical mail, and actually also their email, I believe, as well. And then the 0.3%, that's actually other ads like on other networks, on other sites, and all that type stuff. But you can come down here and then you can begin to see the actual the keywords. First page Google keywords, they have 337 first page keywords. Is beyond this actual training, but it's something that you definitely want to look into if you're blogging, or even on your website. I mean, that's something that I also provide is, SEO, what we call search engine optimization. And that's what keywords and all that is entailing as well. But you can see here, even down to their costs, you can see what they're paying for their SEO, or their Google and Yahoo keywords every month for their traffic. Then it shows you the top countries with Google. It shows you the top countries, where it's showing you right now, until you get like a paid account with follow.net, it'll show you 15 on. But I'm pretty sure number one is probably USA, because that's their main target audience there. Probably USA and then the UK or what have you. But I just wanted to show you how powerful this could be as it relates to your product and services. Even if you were starting a church or starting a organization, nonprofit organization, this is still great because now you're able to target individuals and see, okay, the type of audience that you're looking for. You can find them, based on the followings that these other websites have and everything. So it even tells you the top keywords. So you got survival life, you got marketing manager salary, lead magnet, Ryan Dice, blog ideas. So you can actually literally see what they're paying cost per click, which is CPC. That means cost per click. And you can actually see this. Again, it tells you top keywords for Google. And you see this, they're at number one position for Digital Marketer Pro, and they're only paying 5 cents per click. That's amazing. They're only paying 5 cents per click. I'm going to show you a couple of campaigns where I had that happen in Facebook, and it's not hard as you think. It's actually pretty simple when you target down, correctly, and drill down your target market. Then you have your top competitors. It shows who are the top in the particular field that you're in. Shows you all that. And then I want to get down to, let's see, again, keywords and all that. So then it also shows you their ads. So you're able to see what their ads look like and how many keywords those particular ads have going to them. Use all the text ads, and then you can see some of the other ones. And when they have graphical ads, you're able to see those as well. So that's follow.net. Here we go. So you can see their graphic ad. So I can take these ads and say, wow, we do something what we call hacking, when we do funnel hacking. And really it's the same way with ads when you're constructing ads. I have a saying, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. If you see something that's working, and we obviously know that they're working because they are constantly paying this money for their advertising to advertise these same ads. You see here, this was first seen, this particular ad here was first seen in March of this year. It was last seen in May. And then you have some of the other ads here. So you're showing them one thing that they do good is they actually will switch out their ads. But anytime you have an ad that you see that's been on for 3, 4, 5 months, or what have you, that is a clear indication that that's a profitable ad, and it's something you may want to look at modeling. And saying, okay, when we say modeling, we're looking at what do they have on the ad? What kind of imagery they have on the ad? What's the copy say on the ad? That type of thing. All right. So let's see here. All right, so now I'm going to let's go to Facebook. Let's go to Facebook, and if you want to, feel free to open up a browser window and follow along with me. And let me log into my business account. Now I have a business account with Facebook because I do marketing for clients as well. But that's not a requirement. And actually, I'll show you that the ads manager here and the ads manager here are pretty much the same. So all in all, you're working with the same thing. What the business account allows you to do is it allows you to claim other assets. So, for instance, I'm able to claim, like for instance, if you all had me as if you all hired me to handle all of your Facebook ads, I'm able to claim your account in my business manager where I can come in here and do everything versus having to log into your Facebook account and all that type of stuff. So, business ad is good. Business account is good, um, if you want to what you call it, if you're doing Facebook advertising for clients, what have you, as well. So like last week we talked about managing ads, we talked about account settings, your billing. We also talked about tools, about audience insights and all that. So what I want to show you now, though, is what I call and I don't think I mentioned it yet. We talked about follow.net. But this baby right here is very, very, very powerful. If you're taking notes, I want you to write this down. This is graph search checklist. And I'm going to put this in a document for you as well. This is a graph search checklist. If you don't know what the graph search is, what it is Facebook has this medium where it allow you to search for anything you pretty much you want to on Facebook, and as well as the search engine. So for instance, I'm able to type in, when we look here, when we talk about graph search, there's different things that you can type in. Okay. People who like, so you can say people who like blase blase, a page. It could be a page or a topic. Pages liked by people who like, groups joined by people who like, products liked by people who like, interests liked by people who like, posts by people who like, pages similar to. And these are all things that you can use in the graph search to gain information of where your targeted followers are, where the people that you want to target in the ads manager, where they're at. So for instance, we can come in here and say people who like, you see it's already popping up. People who like Donald Trump, people who like snow, people who like network marketing. Let's say we want to talk about business. So we'll say people who like business books. And so what it does is it'll show you, you can come up here and go to latest, and it'll show you any individual that has mentioned like business, has mentioned uh, books, business books, or what have you. It'll show that. So you're able to come here and go like groups, no groups, but let's go to pages. Boom, we have 2 pages now that are centered around business books. So if you had a book that was about business, then you can actually join these groups, add value to the groups, and now you have or even before even joining it, you can write these down and say, okay, I know these individuals. Now this one, they only got 396 likes. This one only has 14 likes. So let's do something like this. People who like, People who like, since I'm going to show you the Miami Heat, let's do that. I'm going to show you Miami Heat. So now it'll show you the people who like the Miami Heat, but then it'll show you the groups that they like as well. So it shows all of the groups that a lot of these individuals like as it relates to the Miami Heat. Okay. Same thing. You can go groups about science. Say you have a product that's, or let's just do health, about weight loss. So you have all these groups pop up. You have all these groups pop up. Let's see, these are all closed groups, closed groups, closed groups. Here's a public group. And this is how you can tell whether a group is a good group to be in, or to even target. You would want to come down the group and look at some of the activity on the group and see, okay, how many page likes and things are they getting? So they're not getting a lot of engagement on this particular page. Getting 5 people here and there. Um, Now this one has a lot of comments, but it looks like it was probably his own comments. Let's see. Okay, so you have some engagement as far as comments is concerned. People are posting different blogs and things for weight loss. But as for the other, the regular post, he's not getting much engagement. He's getting like two likes, maybe 1 or 2 people commenting. So it shows me that they haven't really built the engagement as of yet. Now, if you go to, for instance, I'm going to show you the big difference in that. I can take you to Marie Folio. It's her verified page. And see if she can find her group. Or Amy Porterfield. Okay, she has 173,970 people who like that. So she's usually one of the people that I target when I'm targeting for digital marketing, when I'm targeting for branding, when I'm targeting for social media management, all that type of stuff. I normally put her in my ads. But you can see already she's got 19 people, uh, 2 people on that one, 4 people on that one, 24 people on that one, 23 people on that one. So 15, so she's got some engagement. And the thing about it is when Facebook, when they change their algorithm, you will find that your engagement is going to drop. It's going to drop, and you have to build it back up because their algorithm is designed really to push you towards advertising. So they base the engagement off different factors, as far as the relevance of the content that you're posting, how long the content is. For instance, you want to make sure that you're posting when you post, you want to post at least a paragraph to a paragraph and a half to 2 paragraphs, because the more text, you want to have that happy medium. If you have too little text, they will drill it right down in the timeline. They won't give it any type of engagement ranking factor because they feel like it's not enough content to keep anybody and stuff. And it could be a power phrase. I mean, a powerful power phrase. And you'll find that you'll look up and only 2 people have liked it. And you're like, what in the world? And it's because of the algorithm and what have you. So that's another way that you can actually, look and search for different things as it relates to the Facebook marketing. So I would tell you, let me go through this. Just off the top, somebody kind of give me give me a let's say a business or a product or something that we can use for this case study. Okay, the algorithm means that what it is an algorithm is sort of like a process, like a technical process that they take everybody through. So it's sort of like a series of rules that they use to spit out content. Think of it as like a filter. It's like a filter. So you know how you can filter out certain things, like with coffee they'll filter out impurities or what have you. Um, when you're draining grease or what have you, filter out the crumbs from the fried chicken or whatever. That's what the algorithm is. So it's a series of rules and things they've designed and say, okay, they want to they want to make sure that a certain type of post won't get a lot of attention, won't get a lot of engagement. So, for instance, what they're doing, perfect example of this is lately, Facebook is now rolling out with their own. You've seen the videos. They're rolling out with their own video because what they realize is YouTube was taking up all of the money. They realized YouTube's following was real huge, and so they was like, well, we want to get a piece of that. Because what they found was majority of the people, excuse me, that were posting, they were posting from YouTube. So they'll get the YouTube embed and they'll embed it in their posts. And so YouTube is getting all this traffic, and Facebook is not getting anything. People are leaving Facebook to go to YouTube to watch these videos. And so Facebook said, okay, well, their whole thing is we want to keep everybody on our site. We want to keep everybody on our site as long as possible. So how do we do that? Well, we have to play the game. We have to strengthen our video game and strengthen our servers. And we want people to post their videos natively on Facebook. We want them to upload their videos from their cameras, upload their videos from their laptops and their desktops to Facebook instead of uploading them to YouTube and then embedding them into Facebook. So what they're doing now is in the algorithm, anything that you post with YouTube is going to get less of a ranking or of engagement than if you post it on Facebook itself natively. So the videos, if you post on Facebook, what Facebook does, it says, okay, they posted their actual video on Facebook, so I'm gonna give them extra weight as it relates to being seen in the news feed. So that's what they see, that's what they know. And so what happens is if you post it, the algorithm will say, okay, I'm going to rank them higher than the other YouTube videos, especially if you have a nice following. If you have a huge following, you can get so much engagement, so much more engagement from a video post from Facebook that's native than if you did YouTube. Okay, so that's what the algorithm is. All right, so Steve said LegalZoom. We can use LegalZoom. So we know LegalZoom uses, they have a varied offerings of services that they have in regards to legal services and all of that. So let's say we're going to use LegalZoom and we want to use them as, hold on one second, let me pull up my notepad. Actually, let me come back here. I can come back here and okay, so we got LegalZoom, right? And so we know that LegalZoom offers different services and products. So what we want to do is we want to say we're going to target small businesses small businesses. We also, let me make this a little bit bigger. Can y'all see that? So I like to do this on the spot so you all can see the entire process of the thinking of the, you know, the concepts of really pulling it all together. Right. And Darlene, that's actually what I suggest to anybody. If you have a video, upload it to YouTube and upload it to Facebook. So that way you can kill two birds with one stone, and you'll be able to still get engagement on both of them. You know, so you definitely do that. All right, so we're going to target small businesses. And so with any small business, um, they need to set up, you know, the right structure. They need to set up, um, you know, they may want to get incorporated, that type of thing. So we know that small businesses, they're always looking first to, when they're starting out, they're always looking to make sure that they save money. You got to spend money to make money. There's no doubt about it. But when they're starting up, they have to count all of the costs, right? So LegalZoom is a great way to get a lot of stuff done that you would have to pay an attorney to do, at a much higher cost, much higher cost. Um, Things of, you know, getting incorporated and things of that nature. You know, you could actually eliminate having to seek an attorney to do some of that stuff. So knowing that small businesses need this type of information, one of the things that we can look at, let's say on our ad creative, um, one of the things we want to mention is the benefit of saving on attorney fees, right? So I would literally, on my copy, I would literally say something to this effect. I would literally say, starting a business, save a ton of money by using LegalZoom, dot. And so that would be one of my headlines. And then I would literally come in here and I would literally do two or three more headlines that I can use for the business. So knowing that, let's go to the my business manager. And what I'm going to do is, this is called the power editor. The reason it's called the power editor is because it's more powerful than the regular ads manager editor. That's just it in simple layman's terms. And so what it does is it allows you to, and I can show you what I'm talking about. So we come here and go to manage ads, go to reboot with Paleo. And let's see here. If I go to like create a new ad, and I'm just going to say, let's go to promote my page. And I'm just going to choose Jermaine J. Freeman. We're going to say everyone in the United States. And I'm just going to leave that 18 to 65. Here's what I was talking about with the English. So you can select English all, and it'll put, if you noticed, let me delete that. If you notice when I put English, you see how they have English UK and English US. So I just select them all. And All right, I'm just going to put budget of 5 for right now, because I want to get to the creative so I can show you something. Okay, so you notice how this text here is, if you roll over this, it's going to let you know, clearly explain it. It tells you all of the different tool tips. So at all of the major locations, you'll be able to see the tool tips. Now you see how it's brought in a previous ad that I had. So this ad was designed to entice those that are looking for coaching, looking for self-development, that type, personal development, that type of thing. So are you reaching your potential? Do you have dreams and goals that you are not? Now you see how it's cut off here. It does that here, even if I added more text. You see how it would not show there, and Facebook tells me your text has a word that is longer than 30 characters. Remove this word to continue. So what it's telling me is I don't have enough space. It's not going to allow me to put any additional text in here. What I'm saying? So it automatically does this in the regular ad manager. Your ad will show the first 90 characters. So it's always the first 90 characters when you're in the regular ad manager. So the beauty is what you want to do is you want to come here. Let's go back to manage ads. Yeah. Let's continue. So when you go to your ads account, you want to automatically go to Power Editor. And the Power Editor is where you want to create majority of your ads, is where you want to create them, okay? And I'm just going to, it'll list all of your campaigns that you have, and you can actually download those. Now, actually, what I like to do when I come to the Power Editor, I like to reset it. And they just made a change to the Power Editor. Okay, it must be gonna let me download first. So let me just download the let's use that. I think that'd be good for the case. All right, so now you're in the Power Editor. And here, the first screen that you're going to normally come to is going to be all of your campaigns. So it's going to list your campaigns. It's going to list what you're running now, what how many campaigns you've had, based off of what you told it to download. So I told it to download the from the start of time for most data. So I can literally come in here and say within the past month, and then it'll download what I've done in the past month. It'll done that I didn't turn off or delete and all that type stuff. So based on whatever you want to do, even if you did all time campaigns from the start for this particular account, and it's all based off accounts. This is one of my niche sites, so that's why the account is only showing this many actual ads. So then you have your campaign. So then you're able to drill down. So this is always going to be your campaigns. The next one is going to be your ad sets, and this is going to be your actual ads. Okay, and so you have this, and these are my different ad sets. Remember we talked about this last week about how you can have your different ad sets based off of your actual insights. Okay, so if I was to edit this, then it would show all of your, this is where you set all of your campaign goals as far as your budget, your scheduling, the audience that you're trying to reach, and even your placement. Okay. Now your placement, Well, let's start with this. You always have two creatives in Facebook. You have the news feed, and then you'll have the sidebar. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I'm pretty sure you all have seen both types of ads. So you'll have, these are the news feed ads here. All right, I'm sorry, these are the sidebar ads. I'm sorry. And sometimes you'll see, like if you click on the Facebook icon, then you'll have the regular news feed, and you'll see ads. Anytime you see this says sponsored, then you know that this is an actual ad. So this is an ad for LastPass. Actually, I do use LastPass for all of my passwords, but that's an ad for them. And if you keep scrolling, you'll see other ads that'll pop in. And so you'll always see those. Now, what I do, and this is a tidbit for you as well, because people are going to target you as well in their ads. When you see an ad that you like, take a screenshot of it and save it, so that way you can use it later on. Here's another one: social media marketing planning guide. Kickoff 2016 fresh social media campaigns. So take a screenshot of the ads, and then you're able to use that for one of your campaigns. You can kind of model that ad and say, okay, this is a nice ad. I like the layout of it and everything. And you kind of use that for your testing, excuse me. Okay, so you're in the ads manager, but you do not see the button for the power editor. All right, so you went to manage ads. And you should see it in a couple of spots. You should see it right here where it says power editor. And also, one thing I did forget to mention, the Power Editor can only be used with Google Chrome. I forgot to mention that. So you may be on Internet Explorer or Safari or Firefox, but Power Editor can only be used on Google Chrome. It can only be used on Google Chrome. So that may be why you're not seeing the Power Editor button. Which browser are you using, Tanika? Let me know which browser you're using. That may be what it is the particular browser that you're using. So you're on Google Chrome. That's interesting. We may have to do a screen share later, and let me see what's going on with your account. So when you go to create ads, or when you go to manage, let me ask you this: do you see, like here? Do you see in the side? Do you see when you go to create ads? Do you see manage ads as well? Is anybody else on Facebook in the ads manager now? Stephen, Darlene, are you all on the ads manager as well? Okay. It must not be because you got to create an ad first, probably. Okay, let me know if you all see the power editor button. And I think it's a situation where it'll show up after you create an ad. And I'll show you how to do that as well. Okay. So Okay, are y'all still there? For some reason, Google kicked me out, so I had to come back in. Let me know if you're still there, if you still hear me and can see the screen. Okay, great. I've never had that happen before. That was weird. It said something about an authentication error or something. But anyway, we're back on. Okay, so let me pull up this. Okay, so again, this would be in the Power Editor, and I'll check your account if you're not seeing that. I'm pretty sure it may be because of the ad not being created as of yet. So we'll work on that. We'll get that straightened out. All right. So again, you have your campaigns where you can set your campaigns. Then you have your ad sets. This is where you set all of your information as far as your demographics, all that type of stuff. So let's go to my paleo funnel that I have. Let's see, you have here. This is how I name all of my ad sets, and I would advise you to do the same, because what it does is it allows you to know exactly what your demographic is there. So I targeted the US, I targeted women of the ages of 25 to 54, and it was for the Paleo Elite page. So I was able to come in here when I go to search Facebook. There's a page called Paleo Elite. And so I targeted this page, which you see they have 407,474 people that like Paleo Elite. So they have a huge following of people that like the paleo diet, basically. So they were a great page to target as it relates to that. And so that's how I named it. Then you'll come down. You have to attach your ads to a business page. I think I talked about that last week. You have to have a business page, and it could be multiple pages. You can have multiple pages, and you can attach those particular ads to those pages. For instance, here, well, it won't let me do it because this is a finished campaign, but I'll show you once I create this new campaign that we're going to do. You'll see that you have to attach an actual page to it in order for Facebook to say, okay, this is sponsored by such and such. Here you have your budget. You can set your budget for a daily budget of $5, or you can set it for a lifetime budget. And so it'll tell you, how much the minimum or of the lifetime budget is. Now, for a daily budget, I believe the minimum is still $3. Literally, you can put $3 in there, and it will let you advertise for $3. I believe it is. I don't think they've raised it yet. Okay, so it may still be lower than that. Wow. So they apparently they took the the lock off of, used to have it went from $2 to $3, and then most people normally do $5 anyway, um, for their budget. And then you would come down here and you can actually schedule, when your ad would start, when you want it to end. And so matter of fact, let's just go through the new process. Let me and I can talk you through while we're creating this new ad. All right, so it's going to go here, manage ads, and I'm going to let's go to Marketing Academy. All right, and I'm going to go create new campaign. And so we're going to say LegalZoom. And here you can decide on what type of auction you want to have or buying type you want to have for your campaign. So it could be an auction. Auction is where you're bidding on clicks. And then you could also have a fixed price where you say, okay, this is a certain amount that I want to pay. I don't want to pay more than this, but I can pay less. Right. So what Facebook will do is, if you've used eBay, eBay has this new system now. Well, they had it for a few years now, where you can do a maximum bid, and they'll actually bid up to that particular amount. So your bid could literally be, if the object is, $200, and your maximum bid was $500, and by the end of the bidding, they only got up to $300, then that's all that they charge is the $300. But you'll never go over the 500. It's the same way for Facebook. You tell them, okay, this is amount that I want to pay per click, either CPC per click, or either OCPM, which is per impressions, per 1,000 impressions. I normally tend to go, depending on what the end result is I'm looking for, I'll either do CPC or the CPM method. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in depth as well. But we're going to go auction right now. We're going to say clicks to website. Yeah, we can just do clicks to website right now, since we don't really have anything that we wanted to go to. So we want to create a new app set. And for right now, I'm just going to name it ad set 1. As you saw before, I'll come in here and rename it once I choose my actual, I normally say, once I choose my actual targeting, I normally say creative 1. Okay, so now we'll go on to setting our budget and stuff. So we're going to say 5. I'm going to do $5. And here you'll see, it'll tell you how many people right now you can reach. But that's just without any specific target or anything of that nature as well. So we'll go here. Let's just say we're going to start it, keep that there. We'll end it. Just say at 1, or let's just say 12. And then we're going to get into the good stuff, which is our audience. Anybody have any questions so far? Want to make sure I'm not losing you. Everybody understand what we're doing here? Okay. So far, okay, great. All right, so here we have, this is where we do our targeting and our interests and all this. So we have custom audiences say, for instance, we'll talk a little bit more about that. That's a little bit more in detail as it relates to Facebook ads. But in a nutshell, what it is you can create custom audiences based off of websites. For instance, this audience here, 5 keys to 5 keys webinar that I do, 5 keys to effective branding. So for those that registered for that, I actually placed what we call a pixel, conversion pixel, on the actual registration pages. So it lets me know who came to the site and who registered. What this will allow me to do is it allow me to use that audience again for my next webinar. So I can literally come in here and put in that audience, and I can even create what they call a lookalike audience. So it'll say, Facebook will say, okay, let me pay attention to this particular audience. It'll analyze that audience, and it'll go and it'll find people that are similar to the audience that came and registered for your event, which is very, very powerful. Can you imagine you have a conference or a convention that you're putting on, or an event that you're putting on? It could be a business seminar, what have you, and it could be a book signing. And those that went to your website and subscribed to your email list, you can literally pull all those emails, put it into Facebook, and tell Facebook you want to create a lookalike audience. So what Facebook does, because remember last week I talked about how Facebook has over 1,500 different data points that they use to gain information and data on each individual that signs up with Facebook. So they've partnered with the biggest data company in the entire world. I forgot the name of them. I had it written down as well. I forgot the name right off the top of my head. I just had a brain fart moment just then. I can't remember the name of the company. But they partner with them so they can merge their databases. So Facebook is able to pull data even if those individuals have not had a Facebook account. As soon as they register and you send their emails, because most people use the same email throughout their social media. So they're able, or even when their buying habits and all that for different websites and all. So Facebook is able to use that information, and they say now I can I can find a similar audience for them to help them advertise to. So that's what the actual custom audiences is designed for. And you can always create a new one, or you can use one that you've had previously. All right, so for this case study, we're going to say, with this particular business, LegalZoom, we're going to say United States and Canada, and let's just say the Bahamas, okay? And you can see already our potential reach is already 206 million people. That's a very, very, very broad and huge audience. Usually with your audience, I always say if it depends on how specific you want to get, and that's also based on whether you are targeting locally, whether you're targeting nationally or internationally. On a lot of my international stuff, like for instance, internet marketing and social media, those are two topics and niches that is worldwide. So I don't have to limit that to like the United States, Canada, and all that type of stuff. I could actually target, 20, 30, 40 different countries and have, 500 million, as an audience. And of course, I drill that down. I always drill down to get a specific audience, even when it has a big audience. So our audience anywhere from, and like I said, it's based off of, your campaign goals when we talked about that earlier. But an audience from anywhere from 50,000 on up is kind of what you want to shoot for if you're able to. A local audience or a niche specific audience, sometimes you may not be able to get that many based on and I'll show you what I'm talking about, based on some of the interests or some of the parameters that you input into the actual system. So for instance, let's do this here. So we see now I have a target audience of 206 million. I'm gonna bring this down because most people that are starting the business, they're gonna start it after they've graduated college. So let's just go 22 to about, say, about 45. Actually, even up to 50 now are really looking at it. And of course, people above that do, but for the majority of those that actually start businesses, it's going to be within this particular time. Okay, that particular age group. And of course, we want to keep it all for men and women. Languages. Now, for this one, we're going to actually target, because remember, this is LegalZoom. So LegalZoom, they already are equipped to deal with anybody that comes to the website. So they have languages and all of that. You're able to be changed and you're able to communicate with them. So we can say English all. We can say Spanish. I guess we could say Spanish all. Chinese all. I mean, it's like the sky's the limit when you're talking about somebody like LegalZoom. French, we probably won't have to worry about. We don't have that many here. in our makeup, but this probably covers majority of everybody within um, the United States of America. Matter of fact, let's make it simple. The Bahamas, Canada, yeah. So these three definitely. Well, I guess I need to put French since we're doing Canada as well. All right. So now we have the languages targeted. We have our age targeted. We have our gender targeted. We have our location targeted. Now, here's where we get into the good stuff. Okay. This detailed targeting here. So you can do it now. Before, this is a new change here that Facebook has made literally within the last week or so. Before, your targeting used to be interest and then it was demographics. Now they have it all together. So you can come in here and let's just say we're targeting small business. So we'll say small business. Boom. You got small businesses there. Okay. And that gives us an audience of 46 million, close to 47 million people. We want to also say, let's say legal. Actually, we can say startups. And so you can come through here and you'll see that you have all these different things for startups. Jumpstart our business startups, and you can literally add all of these. Now, understand this is where you remember I talked about success surveillance checklist. This is where a lot of that information will come into play now. So now you're able to use that information and say, okay, I want to search these interests. Okay, I want to the groups that I searched and all of that. This is where you'll put that information in. So I would have already searched and found several groups that I know have passionate people in them that are trying to start businesses, that are looking for information on how to start businesses. Okay, so you could we can go business networking. Um, how to start your own company. You see that come up? How to start your own what's it, own country. All right, so because of the actual descriptions of some of these, when we put in business, it's going to bring up some of these things. So you have the small business owners, business apparel, maintenance and repair, in relationship business travelers, another small business, business services, that would be a good one. What are some other interests that you all can think of that may be applied? Just off the top of your head, if you was to think about LegalZoom and a business, a startup business, or what have you, what are some of the other interests you think about? One I can think off the top of my head would be trying to think of the oh, Entrepreneur Magazine. Yep, there we go. And so when I come back up here, you'll see that you see how it got targeted. And so what it does is it takes down, you remember this number used to be, I think it was close to 270 million. Now it's down to 14 million. And so you can continue to go down here in the demographics and change that. So for instance, behaviors, say purchase, you can look and say purchased over the last 2 years. Um, you can say purchased over the last 48 months, last 6 months ago, 13 to 24 months ago, 7 to 12 months ago. And so they know individual LLC. That's a good one. That's a good one. Yep, you can start targeting the actual services then as well. Stephen, that's a good one. So you can target, even if we did, let's go back to purchasing, let's just say within the last 13 to 24 months. Went back up to 21,000. Then we'll come here and say LLC. Let's see what we get. Limited liability companies, people who are interested in that. We could probably target them. How to incorporate. Okay, and this brought up one that's real key because it's going to be business to business. Is the actual company size. You can actually target by the company size. So you can target like companies that have less than 10 employees, have more than a certain amount of employees. Here's one that let me see if they actually put it in this section now or not. Okay, maybe they didn't. I'm gonna see where they put that at. But you can see how you can come in here now. And ideally, 501c3. Yeah. Boom. 501c3 organizations. You can say nonprofits. So these are all individuals that you can actually target. Now, in an ideal situation, you wouldn't necessarily want to target everybody, all of these at one time. I'll show you probably next week how you can separate all of these interests to where you have those each interest in a different creative, and you're able to actually see how each ad is performing. Because what happens is if you have all of these different interests, you have all of these different countries, you don't know where the best rate of return for your investment is coming from. You may have a situation where one company performs better than another. In fact, let me go ahead and I have a document. I think it's on my other WitchCon. So I have a document I'm going to send you all that'll show you the different countries to actually target based on what you're trying to do. So if you're trying to make sales, it'll tell you what countries are best to make sales in. If you're trying to get likes to your page, cheap likes to your pages, it'll show you all of that information as well. So ideally, what I want to do is I want to say, okay, English language. I want to come in here and say 501c3 organizations, and come down as far as connections. I can come in here and say people who like a certain page, or if they're connected to me, I can say exclude anybody that's connected to my page, Jermaine J. Freeman's page. And what that does is anybody that's connected to me, it won't advertise to them. Now, why would I want to do that? Well, for two reasons. One reason is I'm already making contact with them. They're already a part of my page. So they're already seeing some of the information that they're receiving value for whatever I'm sharing with them. So I don't really need to advertise to them. I already have my hands on them. They're already touchable. They're already in my warm market. Okay, because they touch me every day. I touch them. I talk with them every day. Second reason is it saves me money. Why do I want to advertise to individuals that I'm already advertising to? that I advertising to, and actually for free, because they're already a part of my page. So I don't want to advertise to them again. Now, the beauty of this right here, which makes it so powerful, is I can actually come back and say, okay, I can even go to friends. So the friends are the people who like my page. I can advertise to them. And then I can also advertise to those who like that page. And so what'll happen is you'll see it come down tremendously. Now, with all of these particular interests and countries, the age limit, the gender demographics, and all that, you see how it went down to 270 people. So literally, it's only 270 people on this particular page that actually fit all of the targeting details that I outlined here. Okay, y'all see how that works? So anytime you get a low number like that, you may want to check and make sure that you didn't eliminate a sect of people that you didn't intend to eliminate. And so you can also do apps. If you're running an event, you can do from people who responded to your event, friends of those that responded, people who already, you can exclude people who responded to your event. So that's real powerful. If you put an event up and you have excuse me, you have 100 people that say they're coming to the event. Now you're able to advertise to them outside of the actual event that you created on Facebook. You're able to advertise to them on their regular pages and all this, and they'll see your advertisement. And here you can come in here, you can save the audience and all that. Excuse me. Let me get a drink of water right quick. All right. So that's your targeting, and then you have here, when I talked about earlier, as far as the creatives, and we're gonna shut down in a little bit. I know it's we're going about an hour and a half now, but as I mentioned about the creatives, you have the news feed and you have the right sidebar, and these are actually what we call the placements. So this is the placement section. As you can see, they just added Instagram. So literally, you can actually advertise on Instagram for no additional cost, because Facebook bought out Instagram, so now they're advertising on Instagram now. So what I normally do is the mobile news feed is normally what I've seen from my studies and some of the case studies and the ads that I run. The mobile news feed winds up being some of the cheapest traffic you'll get, and some of the most engaging traffic. I normally turn off the audience network. And what the audience network is all of the third-party networks that Facebook is affiliated with. So, for instance, you can have your ad here, and Facebook will be able to show your ad in video games and apps, different apps and stuff like that. You know how you'll be playing a game, a free game, and then an ad will pop up. It's that type of thing. If it's targeted to the right audience, Facebook can show it to them. So I normally keep mobile news feed on, desktop news feed, and desktop right column. I am still experimenting with the Instagram ads. I have not talked with some other counterparts in the industry to find out how they, how their conversions have been with those ads and their pricing and all that. So once I get more data on that, I'll definitely let you all know if it's even worth doing the Instagram, because what you got to realize is the different social media platforms have different audiences. So Instagram is really that youthful audience. There's a lot of the youth that are on Instagram. So a lot of the products and services that you may be offering may not best be suited for the Instagram audience. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna be sending out the replay. I think I know the other replay has already gone out, but I'm gonna be sending out this replay tonight as well. So you'll get an email tonight about this replay as well, Tanika. And so you have the desktop right column, news feed, and the mobile news feed. And of course, you can put it on all devices. I've never even messed with this, but for instance, if I was doing an app that was only designed for the iPhone, or the iOS devices, then I would actually choose iOS devices, or vice versa with the Android, I would choose that as well. And this is when we get to the optimization. So you have your link clicks to your website. Remember I talked about it earlier, where you can do clicks to your website, or you can do impressions as well. So what impressions think about this. What other platform or medium are you able to advertise to thousands and thousands and thousands of people for like $1 or $2 per impression? It's crazy. I mean, you can literally advertise um, to thousands for pennies on the dollar. I mean, and you're exposing your brand. Understand that even if they don't click on your ad, they see your ad. So you're actually exposing your brand. They're seeing you, and the more that you're seen, the more the perception is that you're expert in your field, that you're expert in your niche, in your area of study, your field of study. So you may not even feel like you're an expert. You may not even feel like you have the following, but because they see you all the time and they see you active, whether it's ads or whatever the case may be, they really like, wow, let me check this individual out. They must be really doing some things, because you're in their ads all the time. That's what the benefit of impressions, does for you. And Facebook, they'll recommend based on your campaign. They'll recommend what they feel like you should be doing or what have you. I've never done daily unique reach. I've never done it. It just doesn't make sense to me. To have your ad shown just once a day to individuals, where even with a regular ad, you want to try to get anywhere from 2 to 3 impressions for people to really start to see, and it for it to be in their minds, for it to be fried into their minds to see your ad or what have you. Here, when we talked about the bid amount, you can let Facebook set the bid for the clicks at the best price that they can get it for. But then you can also come here and say manual, and boom, now you can actually set how much you want to spend on a click, and they will spend up to that amount. So you see 378 came in. That's what Facebook would have been bidding on the automatic bid. It would have started up to that amount. It wouldn't have necessarily spent that amount, but it would have started up to that amount. But you can literally come in here and it tells you the suggested bid is 4 cents. So what I normally do is I normally find a happy medium. Right here, you'll see it shows you the bids are anywhere from 1 cent to 8 cents. So I would come in here and I would literally go probably like 5 cents. And then when you start the campaign, let the campaign run for a day, and you come back and see, you'll be able to see if you're getting enough clicks or not. If you're not getting enough clicks, then you can move it up to a higher rate. You can move it up to the 8 cents. You can move it up to 15 cents, 20 cents. I mean, who wouldn't want to pay 20 cents for a click that leads to your website, and that particular person just purchased, a $47 product or a $20 book, and all you spent was 20 cents. I mean, that ROI is amazing. So that's what that's what you want to shoot for and understand in that. Delivery type standard is normally always what I get. If you have a major campaign that you're trying to push out fast, you can go accelerate it, and it'll show your ads quickly as possible. So it'll show them, very, very frequently versus being spread out over the time of the day or the actual campaign and everything. And once you have that set, that's pretty much it from your budgeting standpoint. And then the next thing is just the creative. You're creating your ads. This is where I told you about the Facebook ad. So we don't have a Facebook page for this, and so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put it on let's say Marketing Academy 101. All right, and it pulls up the Marketing Academy page. And here's where you can do the creative ads. You can use an existing post. So, for instance, any post that you have on your page, you may have written up a great post to advertise your book, and you look at it, you're like, wow, this would have been a nice ad. Well, now you're going to come in here and you can go and it'll find all of the posts on your page, and you can come and use that particular post. So you can literally come in here. Here's one that I had for my marketing webinar. So I can literally come in here and use that, and you see how it allows me to get that whole text, all that text in there. And when they click on this, now they're able to register for my webinar. and you're able to come over here and you can say this is the news feed. That's how we look in the news feed. Then it'll show you the mobile news feed, so you're able to see how it looks. And you notice how it truncates the information that's down here, and it just shows you the headline. And it's showing you like on a feature phone as well. And then you have your desktop right column, which is what we see on the right hand side of the ads. And they've added also the Instagram, so you'll see how it looks on Instagram as well, which is pretty cool. Like I said, I'm gonna do an actual test. Matter of fact, I may do it with us next week, and we'll create an ad for Instagram, and we'll just run it on Instagram and see how how it turns out. And so once you have that established, that's pretty much it. Now you can come down here if you want to track conversions and all that. You can do that as well. Now, when you create an ad from scratch, now you're able to, instead of using the post, you're able to create your ad that you want to do. So let's just say I'm just going to use my URL. And now you're able to come in here and put a display URL as well. So I'm just going to put JermaineFreeman.com and text. So let's just I'm just going to put next week, just so you'll know, we're gonna go dive right into creating the ad and doing all that, since we've gotten the theory, or majority of the theory out the way. All right, so it actually used one of the images from previously, but you can come down here. Let's select the image. And of course, none of this is going together. I would never have a social online marketing image with a need a fast and lean diet. Click here for more information. Type headline. But I'm just trying to show you. And then you're able to come in here and have a call to action. Now, one thing I want to give, this is a free tidbit that I want you to do as far as advertising is concerned. Period. Any type of advertisement that you send out, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's a newspaper, whether it's a banner ad, whether it's on Twitter, whether it's on Instagram, whether you're doing a Periscope, any type of advertising, any type of marketing that you're doing should always have what we call a CTA. That's a call to action. That's a call to action. Every type of piece you send out. I mean, that's rule number one. It should always have a call to action. The call to action can be pushing them to your website. It could be pushing them to join you for an event. It could be pushing them to register for an event, pushing them to purchase. So you want to make sure you always do that in all of your marketing. So here, Facebook allows you to choose a CTA based off of your ad. So for instance, if I had a video that I wanted you to watch, you can click on watch more and you'll be able to do that. Sign up for like your lead generation emails. If you have a product you're selling, shop now. If you have a free ebook or a free what we call a lead magnet, you can have the download button, and all that. So that way, when you do that, that's where it's going to show here. So when they click on that, it's going to take them directly to this actual URL that you put in. And the tracking, if you that's a little bit more in depth. We can kind of get into that in later sessions. But that's pretty much it as far as really getting in and targeting and dealing with the ads. So next week, what we'll do is we'll go in and we'll actually create an ad. I'm going to have a business. I'm going to show you actually some of the information that I've done. And I'm going to show you, matter of fact, I'm going to take you to it now. And just so you can see a brief summary of what we're going to see next week with this campaign. See if I can get to this creative for y'all so y'all can see the creative. Okay, why is it showing me that one? All right, so that's weird. I don't know why it's doing that. It's like caching the thing that I was trying to do. That's weird. Never seen it do that. All right, here we go. So this is the ad. Let me view it in the news feed. So this is the ad, one of the ads that I did for the Miami Heat. Thanks, Darlene. Thank you. And believe it or not, this ad bombed. Well, I don't want to say it bombed. I got great clicks and everything from it. And this ad is actually leading to, let me see if it's going to take me to the link. Yeah, it's leading to this page here, which was a t-shirt that I created for the Miami Heat. I'm a huge Miami Heat fan. Let me bring it down so you can see a little bit more. And so, it's what we call a free plus shipping type deal, where they just pay for the shirt and the shipping is free. And I had a countdown timer here. Of course, it's saying this offer has ended now because it's WitchCon, but it had the credit card information and all that down there. So any Raven Heat fan would purchase that shirt. So I think it may have been the price point on the shirt, and also I was going to code traffic. So a lot of times that can make a difference, in your ad. Is if you're going to code traffic or not. I mean, when you look at, oh wow, well Stephen, we're gonna definitely fix that, man. We're gonna definitely fix that and make sure we get your campaigns running the right way, and profitable for you. And so when you come back here and you can kind of see my numbers here, you see that I was already, hold on. So you see, on average, only 77 cents per 1,000 people, which is crazy. And my reach was 10,000 people. So to reach 10,000 people, I literally only paid $7.70, basically, to reach 10,000, close to 11,000 people. Now, and look at the impressions. I had 23,478 impressions. That means how many times people saw the ad. And it was only 26 per click. So I had 46 on this particular. The other one I had like 164 clicks. I had 46 clicks to the website on this one. Well, 46 website clicks, but it was 89 clicks. So what that means is a click can count as somebody liking your page, somebody liking the actual, I'm about to say commercial, somebody actually liking the actual ad as well. So that, a click can come in is that way as well. Now, what Facebook has started doing is they started making sure that they eliminate certain clicks. So if somebody clicks the actual ad and likes that ad or likes the page rather, they don't count that against you. So you don't have to worry about paying for that click. But we'll get a lot more in depth into that on the last two sessions, and even beyond that. If you need additional coaching and all that, we're gonna make it happen and make it work for you. But yeah, that's the ads manager, and and that's it. In a nutshell. Again, next week we're gonna dig in deep. I'm gonna do some research, and I'm gonna show you how I'm able to do the research and pull. I'm gonna go ahead and create. We're gonna create the Facebook page and all of that. I'm gonna take you from scratch. The Facebook page, choosing images and all of that for that, and we're gonna build that whole campaign from, I call it, from A to Z. We'll build a campaign from A to Z. So, do anybody have any questions? Does anybody have any questions tonight for me as it relates to the ads? And if not, we'll I'm going to send that replay out tonight. So be looking for that, the replay for tonight's session as well as last week's session, and you also get the handouts that I have for you with the success surveillance checklist and also the graph search checklist as well. And we're gonna send that out. You probably get that in the email tomorrow. If not, I'll make sure I get that to you probably over the weekend or what have you. All right, so that's all I have for tonight. And again, make sure that you add me. Go back into your ads manager. Make sure you add me as one of the account admins, so I can help you with your ads. I think a couple of you have done that and have added me to the pages as an account admin for the ads manager account. So that way we can go in there, we can test, optimize, and help you and go ahead and get started. If you're ready to get started on your ads, I know a couple of you all have, several of you all have already had your strategy session with me. And so I've already gotten the strategies down, and I just need to send those out to you. But whenever you're ready to go ahead and get started, I would definitely like to go ahead and get you rolling on your first ads. And because we want to create momentum so you can have that momentum going into 2016. All right, this is Jermaine signing off. Remember, you work on purpose, love on purpose, and live on purpose. Have a great night, everybody.